Hi everybody, Morgana Galaxia here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm coming on today because I want to talk, well I should say I want to read about the Supreme Court and Mississippi's attempt to undermine Roe versus Wade. So I woke up this morning and turned on the TV and they were actually playing live audio from the Supreme Court and the Mississippi Attorney General. So unfortunately, I only caught about 20 minutes of that, so I didn't get to hear the whole thing. But this is what I want to read on today. So the Supreme Court's a problem, with Kavanaugh and Barrett. And okay, I'm just not going to wax poetic on that. Let's just say I'm going to take a look at that today. And I'm going to start, let's just take a nice general look. We'll start off looking generally at the Supreme Court, okay? So the 9 justices, the Supreme Court, Kavanaugh, and while I'm shuffling here, I'll just, talk here. So Kavanaugh and Coney Barrett, they were shoved on the Supreme Court. They're not fully qualified, questionable ethics. Who paid off Kavanaugh's debt before he got seated? What kind of kooky cult was Coney Barrett in? And are they the kind of justices that would overturn Roe versus Wade for their own political purposes versus the merits of the law? Because the precedent for Roe versus Wade is incredibly strong. The only reason it's really still a conversation in this country, I think, is because the Republicans keep using it as a wedge issue to drive people apart. The right to a woman's physical self-determination has been enshrined in law in a long time. And okay, I'm having problems with my cards, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so I just want to take a general look at the court with these 2 new justices. How are the other justices dealing with that? They're seeing, they're thinking, the types of questions that they ask, their arguments, the way they want to think about things. It must be really, I would imagine, really disconcerting for these, I don't want to say liberal justices, because I think that's just a boogie word, but, for the ones elected by a Democratic president, whatever. Sotomayor, Kagan, how are they? Okay, so, sorry, I'm trying not to get lost here. Okay, general look at the Supreme Court, what's going on with them. My goodness. Okay, so we're starting off here, and I'm just going to do some quickies again because I want to get through a few things. So we're starting off with the Queen of Wands. Okay, so the Queen of Wands. I'm asking generally about the Supreme Court here, not just Roe, but this speaks to the women's power on this bench. Not just Kagan and Sotomayor, also Coney Barrett. This is a woman's issue that they're dealing with right now. Abortion is not just a woman's issue, but, let's be frank here. So this is really addressing the feminine aspect of this question. And with the Queen of Wands, there's work to be done. This is someone with authority. And a lot of status who is, making is doing a lot of work here. All right, so I think what I'm feeling really with this card is that this card is calling on women to stand up for themselves, to do the work that we need to do to defend our liberty, to maintain our rights. This is calling women to unite, to show our power, to come together and wield that wand as the queens that we all have inside of us to, prevent this egregious situation from happening. How does that translate into the Supreme Court? I think women showing up, right? The protesters, just the media, everyone. The bigger the uproar on this, the more dangerous it might be for members of the Supreme Court to just play their partisan role. But essentially, where I'm going is, I think this card is calling on women to do the work, be brave, get your sword, ready, not your sword, your wand here. That's the work that needs to be done. That's the power that you're wielding. Come together and take your queenly role. We got to take our queenly roles here and refuse to allow the rights that are granted to us by the law of the land, by the Constitution, by the Supreme Court previously, to stand. Okay? We're moving on to Two of Wands. So there are two paths here in this card. There's the path of light, the clear path ahead with the sun shining down, that's a light and bright. And then there's the darker path here through the shadowy thickets. So this is telling us that there are two paths that the Supreme Court can go down here. But since I'm also asking more generally on the Supreme Court, my glasses are steaming. I feel like this is telling us this court has light and dark. There are good members, there are bad members. There's good intention and there's bad intention. There are members who want to walk the path of the light and others who are willing to kind of take a different path. So, we know this isn't a surprise. We've got some really shady people on here. And let's not forget Clarence Thomas, okay? And we're ending with the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. So this is really just kind of trying to forge your own resources. I'm just trying to feel off this card here. Just a sec. So with this Three of Pentacles, the feeling I'm getting here is of forging something, okay? Forging a shield. Using your skill, using your talent to build something. And the feeling I get with these shields that he's hanging up here is a shield, a protection, a barrier. I feel like these justices, they might be putting up shields against each other, barriers against each other. I feel like there's some that are more skilled than others. There might be some competition in there. That is just not a fully functioning situation. I just think because this mix of novice and master and just people with different intents, and I think there's their own agendas as well. So I think there's a lot of separation and I don't know if I would say friction on the court, but just there's breaks. They're fragmented. There's a feeling I'm getting with that. So that's kind of, my general reading on this court. The women hold power on this particular court. And it's interesting that we have women on both sides of the issue with Roe versus Wade. Some are going to go one way, some are going to go the other way. And yeah, I think, again, they're fragmented. And I would say maybe the more experienced, more serious justices this is probably my assumption I'm reading into this, that they might be a little uncomfortable with Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh. Okay, so I did want to read on that generally because I want to read on Roe versus Wade and Mississippi in particular. So I think the Mississippi AG did a really good job the half an hour that I heard her. Boy, she was sharp, quick, well-spoken, well-practiced. She did a really good job. Okay. So I want to ask, how is Roe versus Wade going to fare with the Supreme Court? With this particular case, it's it's possibly a weakening of the protections offered by Roe. So how is this case going to fare? Are they going to attempt to undo precedent? Show me Roe versus Wade with this Supreme Court, this Mississippi case. Sorry, you guys, these cards. All right. Okay. We've got the Magician and the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm going to bring you down for this just for a second here. So we've got the Magician, King of Cups, and a King of Pentacles. Two kings, okay? Two kings and this male magician right here with this card. There's a lot of male energy here. So let me bring this right back up. So with the Magician, here we have manipulation, control, making things happen that wouldn't normally be able to happen. For example, trying to weaken Roe versus Wade in Mississippi. That normally would not be able to happen with a good Supreme Court, okay? The precedent on this is set. It's been law of the land forever. And with any other court, it would have been almost impossible to appeal, to reduce, or to attack or undermine Roe versus Wade. So this is the Magician here. They're trying to make magic happen. They're using it, the state of Mississippi is trying to create something out of nothing. They're trying to change something magically without a proper process. So they're trying to make that happen using manipulation and tactics. Okay, so this isn't a thought out legal argument here. And this is one of the points they were making this morning too, was, in the times that the Supreme Court has reversed precedent and struck something, a long-term law, it had only been to grant rights, to expand rights. For example, the right to interracial marriage. That was illegal in this country for a really long time. Lots of precedent about, interracial marriage being illegal. Well, when the court did finally strike that down, it was to grant us the right to marry whoever we wanted outside of our race. It expanded people's rights. So the point they were making this morning was, you're trying to undo precedent in order to remove people's rights. And that is a completely different intent and a different story. So I'm bringing this up. I'm not sure. Let's go to these two kings, King of Cups, King of Pentacles. There's a lot of male energy here, you guys, and this is part of the problem. Men trying to tell women what we can do with our bodies, men trying to limit the role of women in society, in the workforce, in the family, financially, on and on. We all know this story. It's a very old story, but it's still at play. These kings want to call the shots here. Now, the King of Cups is typically my Biden card. And here we have the King of Pentacles, which is generally about foundational issues, family, money, and resources. So I guess where I'm feeling like this is this battle. It's interesting. The previous reading I did, it was calling us women to come together and show our power and, be our queens, right? And here are the kings making that decision for us. Yeah, maybe one of them is Biden in the White House and we consider that benign or benevolent. And, this King of Pentacles who hold the purse strings, this could be, Mississippi, or all the sort of misogynistic energy that gathers together to try and fight for women, or fight against women's rights or what have you. But the point is that Where are the women in this argument, in the decision making? Well, we've got 3 on the Supreme Court, all right, and one of them isn't qualified to be there. I hate to say that. So I'm sorry, what this is telling me as far as Roe versus Wade is there are forces, male forces, that are manipulating, trying to create something out of nothing. I think this is telling us Biden has to figure out, does he want a situation where Roe is weakened under his Democratic presidency? Okay, so this is going to be calling that king forward. Who is this King of Pentacles? This is someone with the purse strings right here. This is someone with the money. There's a chance maybe Kavanaugh or somebody else on the Supreme Court, one of the men on the Supreme Court, is going to make some sort of power play here. But somebody, there's another super wealthy, powerful man or male energy at play. Male energy, male energy, male energy. This is the problem. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, so one of the things, let's see, check my time here. One of the things that have been, one of the concepts that have been bandied about is for Biden to load up the Supreme Court, right? To put some more justices on there. I don't think I think that the response, or what he said about that so far, is it's not his inclination. He doesn't really want to do that. I think he'd consider that an extreme thing to do. But a lot of people are fighting for it. And I guess one of the reasons is because originally justices were numbered based on the number of judicial districts that there are in the United States. And we froze the justices at 9, back when there were 9 districts, but I guess we're up to 13 now. So there is an argument to be made that if we follow the reasoning for the number of justices, that we would appoint several more, up to 13 for each of those districts. Okay, so I just want to ask that question. Can we expect an attempt to be made to add any justices to the bench? Is Biden going to attempt to add any justices to the bench? Whether he succeeds or fails, I just want to know if he's going to make a real attempt, if they'll talk him into a real attempt to add justices to the bench. Show me Biden adding justices to the bench, please. Okay. Okay, so we're starting off with the moon card. Interesting. So the moon is about, just shadow elements. It's about emotions, dreams, intuition, the shadow side. So this would tell me there's something going on under the surface. There might be some preliminary conversations happening on the down low where people don't see it, people aren't hearing it, but there might be something starting to grow, okay? Like the moon through its phases. There might be something starting, something that we just don't see yet, still hidden, okay? Moving on into the Three of Swords. This is heartbreak, regret, pain. I think this is the profound concern and fear that we have over the state of the Supreme Court right now. I feel like, each of the 3 co-equal branches of justice have been intentionally corrupted and undermined. Trump in the presidency, McConnell and the, insurrectionists in the Congress, and all these planted judges in the judiciary. Each of the 3 branches have been intentionally corrupted. And I think people are scared. They see that happening. There's just a lot of fear about what can happen to our rights, what can happen to the rule of law. And I think this is part of the driving force into this question. The only reason this is even a conversation is just people are completely aghast at the last 2 to 3 justices that have been confirmed onto this bench, and the political ramifications of that, and the judicial ramifications. I just think people are scared, and that's really why this is a conversation right now. And here in the end, we have the Ace of Wands. So this is a new opportunity, a new endeavor, new work to be done. And really the feeling I'm getting here is that it would be incredibly difficult. It would be a lot of work to get more justices on the Supreme Court. I think it would be extremely, extremely difficult. There's too many forces that would be arrayed against that. Too many hurdles, too many roadblocks. And I feel like this is why any discussion about this would be so below the radar, so on the down low, so quiet, so hidden, because the response to that, the blowback on that would be swift and it would be hard. I think they see it as a pipe dream. That's the feeling I'm getting out of this, that they might start talking about it, and people are really scared about the situation right now, but I feel like it's just too hard. It's a pipe dream. It's like it's not going to happen. I'm going to say no. That's my feeling on this one right now. Okay. I think that I'm going to leave it there today for the Supreme. You know what? Maybe let me do a little quickie. I'll do one more quickie on Kavanaugh. Okay. Okay. Every time they say his name on TV, my husband's always like, who paid his debt? Who paid his debt off? Who came in there with all their money and wiped his debt clean and sat him on the Supreme Court free and clear? In other words, he's been bought. Okay. Bought and paid for. And I know that there's still people investigating him. There are still people trying to get him unseated, to have him recalled. Show me Kavanaugh. I want to see not him himself, but those working to investigate him, to find out about him, to get the FBI to complete that investigation on him. Those people concerned with Kavanaugh, that's who I'm really asking about. Where are they in their work? Okay. Judgment, Ten of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. So here a judgment has been made. A judgment indicates, there was some evidence given that there's grounds for a decision. This is something that's official. This is a judgment, not, Joe Blow's opinion over here. A judgment has been made. The horn has been sounded. So I think this is telling us they have something. They know something. There is a judgment that has been made about him. And with this Ten of Pentacles, here's the money chest. It's all about the money. Where did his funding come from? Who paid off his debt? Where's his nest egg coming from? So this tells me, yes, they're looking at it. They know something, and they're like looking at it. And here in the end, we have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles, I would think this would be like the delivery boy for the funds. Someone low level, someone maybe young and immature, but someone who kind of did the dirty work, like the courier, the person who drops off the goods. It could also be, you know, the start of an investigation, the start of some research, or a piece of evidence that they're holding on to. Okay. So, you know, YouTube reverses things, so I'm not sure which way you're looking at this here. But I think this young page, maybe a young investigator, someone who's digging into this situation, they pulled something out of this war chest of interest. See all the coins in that chest? Yeah, he found something in there. Something is going to be found. Okay, so let me try and summarize in a sensible way. I've noticed sometimes I kind of tend to blather a little bit, so I'm sorry about that. What I'm feeling right here is, yes, he's shady. Yes, they know it, and so they're looking at it, and they're looking at his money, and they're going to find something that they're going to be able to pull out of that and hold up as a piece of evidence or something to show the public, or something, something to show, to use, to have as a tool. Okay, so they're going to find something on this guy. Now, who knows how long that's going to take? And, you know, doesn't tell me what any repercussions would be for him. We'll hit him again. I've hit him a few times, and we'll get back to him. But anyways, that's really going to be it for me today. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you like my video, please hit like at the bottom. I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will be back with you in a couple days to read on some more topics, all right? Take care, everybody. Bye now.